Good afternoon. Thank you for watching Rundlii Gaming. We're going to be doing another video. This one will actually be on a slightly different game called Marvel Snap. And just sort of as a quick introduction, so anyone that's never played it before, you will be getting different cards, each of which have like their own different abilities. Some of them have special effects. The top left will be kind of like their mana cost. The top right is their power. Then sometimes some of these have different abilities. Like for example, Colossus cannot be destroyed. So if there's an effect that would destroy, like say, all heroes on a particular space, he would be fine. As compared to someone like, let's find, like Hulk, for example. He costs 6 mana, but he has a whole bunch of power. But as you can see, there's no special effect other than Hulk Smash, which basically he's just a big brute in this one. And some of them will affect other things. So like on reveal is kind of like when something enters the battlefield, it triggers one time, unless you have something else that makes it trigger again. But in this case, it'll be like whenever this one's revealed, do this other effect. In this case, move one of your highest to the location he's at. And actually moves everything of that power. So if you have 3 things that are, power 4, he could bring all of them there, possibly from different locations. There are things that will trigger based kind of on whatever your opponents are doing as well. So if your opponent played a card here this turn, a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff seems to kind of go in that direction, where it kind of depends on where your opponents have played. There are some that will give you like ongoing effects, ongoing just like a permanent effect. Like at this location, things can't be destroyed, so it's a good like protective thing that you can put on people. And then, so that's the gist of the cards themselves. Now they all have different effects. Some are kind of help control against certain circumstances, and some help boost in others. And it's so far this is pretty much what I have right now. And then to kind of go a little bit further, there are different missions you can complete throughout the day, throughout the week as well. Then as you complete missions, you get additional bonuses. You get the currency, which is the top left one. That kind of helps for doing like upgrades and things of that sort. Upgrades kind of help you get additional special cards. It seems like in this one, if you upgrade a card, it doesn't really give you any benefit as far as making the card better. But it does kind of help you go up this here, which will then proceed to then give you more cards and more credits and stuff like that. So it's almost seems like it's designed that you kind of want to do upgrades, even if it may not be cards you plan to use. Mostly it's just cosmetic stuff. So if I, so as an example, if we go to some of these cards, so you can see different borders. Like this one's probably at one of the lowest, maybe like a common level, and it just looks like a 2-dimensional artwork. As compared to like, well, that was a special one. This one where you can kind of almost see like the 3D effect within the card itself, so it looks a little bit nicer. And then you get a whole bunch more 3D effect, and so this is like a rarity. And as I said, there's no like changes between what these cards give you if you upgrade them. It's mostly just a cosmetic thing. So like if you have Star-Lord is not going to be any better, even if you upgrade them to, say, rare, for example. So, yeah, that is the very basic rundown of it. Of course, there's a store where you can get more credits and stuff, but up to this point, it hasn't seemed like it was really massively needed to purchase a bunch of stuff. It seems like you can pretty much just grind through the game and get quite a bit of stuff on there that way. And then I think it's like every 8 hours you get some free credits as well. Yeah, that's mostly the store itself. So I guess what we're going to do, so we'll take a look at decks. In this case, I'm kind of building, this one is mostly designed around very low mana cost things, and then they all get buffs from the bigger guys. So like Onslaught, for example. So Khazar, for example, takes all your 1-cost cards, give them extra power. This one gives +1 power to every other card, including the higher cost things. And then this just doubles ongoing effects. Now the ongoing effects were like these guys, where like for example now Blue Marvel will give +2 power to everything. Cable probably one of my next ones to go out of this deck, but generally it's useful for purposes of just getting extra cards. I have a tendency of burning through my cards really quickly. Then I can probably pull some like decent card from their deck sometimes. And Morph is kind of the same thing. It just becomes a copy of a random card in your opponent's hand. So sometimes I can get a huge Hulk or some other really powerful card just from doing that. But these are a little bit less thematic to this build. For example, if I wanted to, I could probably swap one of them out with Angel, just as an example. But depending on your deck, you can kind of customize and build it around sort of different abilities as well. We're going to do just one quick run through, and let's see how it goes. So now these are 3 different locations. So normally we can't see what these 2 are until later. So the next turn this would be revealed, and 2 turns later. Now because I'm running the Watcher, once it's in your hand you can see unrevealed locations, so I can actually go through and look at those. So on this one, on turn 5 all cards must be played here. So whenever it becomes turn 5, we're just going to drop that for now because so add an ninja, it's with -2. So this is something that's going to happen next round. We're going to get a -2 minion here. And 6 cost cards cost 1 less. So this one will be a little bit better for if you're running more expensive abilities. Now in this case he's running Squirrel Girl, which just adds 1 power squirrel to each location, so alright, so I think what we might do, because none of this really is super helpful for us right now, is we might actually use Cable to, because next turn we can drop all 3 of these if we need to. We're going to just use Cable to see if we can get maybe something out of his deck that might be more useful for us right now. Another thing too, I dropped Hawkeye earlier because basically what it makes it do here is that if you play a card here next turn, you get +2 power. So that's the reason why I dropped him. And then the next round I dropped Cable to give him that bonus. I might have missed it, but I believe I got Cosmo from him, because that one's not in the spec currently. It's basically just a way to knock out any kind of reveal abilities. So if you're not running a bunch of reveal stuff yourself, sometimes it can be pretty useful. Alright, so at this point, we can drop 4 cards. Actually 3 cards. So pretty much a couple things we're trying to get done here. So Ant-Man, for example, he's really good if you fill out the entire block. So the most you can have on any of these spaces are 4 heroes here. So that was kind of our main goal here, was basically to fill out these sections. Oh, man, did I mess that one up. Okay, so I'm going to turn 5 more cards once you played there. So what I probably should have done was left a space. So in this case, blue marble, so I'm about to buff everybody. And what you see on the numbers here is that it's the current amount of power that you have in each location. So right now he has 10, I have 10 here. He has 0 here, I have 6 here, because he has this -2. And it's basically negating that. And he has 5 here, and as of right now we have 0 because we just dropped these. Because it doesn't show what he might have already dropped as well. But I think with this one, with blue marble, it's going to buff all these by 1, which makes us at 14 here. And then it also buffs all these by 1. Then he kind of did the same thing with Khazar here. So, as you can see, it's going to be best out of 3. So in this case we took 2 regions, whereas he took this one. We could have probably taken this one if we didn't mess that one up and actually left a space here. And then, yeah, so that was definitely our fault on that one. So pretty much what you can do from here is, as you go through more rounds, you can basically get these little ball things here. These allow you to upgrade the specific card, which again is a cosmetic thing, but if you every time you increase your cosmetic, it gives you extra little bonuses. So this is something you do want to do, even if cosmetic, like in my case, I don't care so much about the cosmetic side of it. But it does give you free other cards, free other nice bonuses as well. So in this case, we completed a couple quests, and so there are quite a few different things that are currently ongoing. So like, win a location with 20 more power, so every time we do that, it'll go up 1. Play ongoing cards. We have a couple on our decks, and that's gradually moving out. Win a location with 4 cards. So in this case, we did win, I think, 1 or 2 locations with that. Win matches with a snap, which I forgot to show you guys what a snap is, but we will go over that as well. And as you get the purple quest done, you can go to the season pass here, and this gives you additional bonuses, which we actually did need more credits because we were completely out. Then with credits, this is kind of where I was showing earlier, where we've seen this little thing where the ball things and then the credit amount. So if we spend on this, so this is the first time I've upgraded it, it's just going to uncommon from common. So it just makes artwork slightly nicer. Nothing else really changes. But it does give you another one of these. So in this case, we went up a rank and gets an extra 25 credits. Next one will get cards. Next one will get more boosters, which allow us to upgrade something again. And that's pretty much all this is here. You just keep getting little minor bonuses back and forth. And then we'll also upgrade this one. So in this case, it's actually a bit more expensive. So 220. We have 25 with this one now, and then 200. These are all specific to that card. So like if I spend 25 or 20 of these, it doesn't affect any of the other cards because they all kind of have their own individual pool of these. Whereas the credits, that's one singular pool. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So in this case, it's a little bit nicer from a picture. Again, mostly all cosmetic, but the main reason you probably still want to do it is you keep getting bonuses here. So for example, this will be a new card that we don't have at all. It would be Lizard. Ongoing -3 power if your opponents have 4 cards here. So we basically want to drop, because the good thing is he's very cheap otherwise. Because 2 for 5 power is actually pretty nice. But if your opponent plays a lot of things, kind of like my build does, which is dropping a lot of heroes all over the place, Lizard probably won't be as strong against me, just because of how my stuff's set up. So in this case, we got some ball things, and those went towards Mantis. Which also helped us complete a mission. So we're going to complete this one because we upgraded a card 12 times. Again, it's just a bunch more free stuff, really. And then, so we're going to do one more match. As you guys can see, it does play pretty quickly. In fact, most of this video has just been kind of the walkthrough of how the game itself plays. So, this one is +1 energy this turn. So, on the first round, we get 2 energy. Now, because we got the Watcher again in our first hand, we can also see what's coming up. So, Ruins doesn't give us anything at all. After turn 5, put a card from each player's hand here. And this is a good way to drop something much more expensive that, like, cost-wise, we would have trouble putting down. We'll just drop 2 there. It's just a Sentinel with a different artwork. But Sentinels are kind of fun because it's a 2 cost, but every time you drop one, you can basically get another one in your hand. So ideally, you should never run out of things to do. Because you always have those cards to play. And then we're basically just going to drop pretty much our entire hand. And this is a good reason why we have Cable in this deck. Because sometimes this happens where we are just going through so many cards so quickly that, we just burn through our hand. So in this case, we're gonna. This looks like all he's basically doing is throwing Sentinels over here. Ah, Odin. Now, Odin doesn't really help us much. He just basically re-triggers all the enters the battlefield triggers. So anything that, whatever it's revealed, it triggers something. He can basically just drop down there and trigger it again. Now that said too, though, he is a 6 cost with an 8 power drop. So I mean, it is. Oh, yeah. So that is something that we still need to discuss as well. So right now, this game is worth 2 cubes, and at the last round it should go up to 4. So what we're going to do in the meantime here is we're going to just drop him here, and we'll just talk it out, which basically means he doubled down, because otherwise the game would have been worth 1 cube, and then at the last round whoever wins would get 2 cubes. But if I click this, it's basically saying that I believe that I'm going to win this. So when he clicked this, that's what he thought was. He expects to win this particular round. So we went ahead and snapped. So next turn it's going to go up to 4 cubes. Now if I lose those cubes, and if he loses those cubes. Now because of the special ability here, it basically gives us a free Odin. And that's kind of what we were hoping for there. I don't believe this one is worth fighting, because I think he probably takes this one. However, we might want to fight this one. And being that he has 6 cards in hand, this morph could turn into absolutely anything. Could be a small, like, something like a Sentinel, which wouldn't be good. Or he might have a big drop, like a 5 or 6 drop. So the morph, there's not very much consistency, but being that he just dropped 3, hopefully he has some higher cost stuff in there. Yeah, which he kind of did. Oof. So as you can see what you can see here, we both won 1 and we tied here. And I think the tiebreaker is whoever has the total amount of power between the two. So like, but because he had this Enchantress, row the abilities from all ongoing cards at this location, which basically knocked out my blue marble. And then blue marble basically knocked down the strength I had at these 2 locations. So that definitely hurt quite a bit. In this case, because we both decided to use a snap, this one cost 8, so whenever we go here, this is what your ranking is. So as you go up in cubes, you will rank up, and if you go down to cubes, you'll rank down. And so when we lost 8, we went from rank 21 down to 20, which is fine. Yeah, it's not a big deal. And then once we have 100 currency again, we can basically rank him up as well. So that'll be the first video of Marble Snap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll try to post some more in the near future. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely let me know if you'd like to see anything specific. Still kind of figuring out some parts of the game itself, so it'll probably take a little bit of time to kind of figure out different builds and get enough cards to actually make different builds more functional. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day.